you're saying is we should dismantle the palace at Versailles?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Seems a shame. I mean, we have all the edge pieces. All we have to do is the sky and the...
No. I think we have to scrap it. I mean, if we really want to go through with this. The adoption lady sees a half-done jigsaw puzzle. She's going to think we're going to get upset if he gets into it and messes it up. And he's bound to do that. Yeah, so everything breakable has got to go. Pictures, knickknacks, definitely have to box those up.
Oh, how did we get into this?
You want to get out of it, Mom? We'll get out of it. I'll call that kindly person, and I'll tell her that we've changed our minds. I mean, who knew when we went to the shelter to rescue a stray that they'd be sending someone over to check us out before they'd let us? Jeez, that's like adopting a kid.
I know. Jeez Louise.
You know, when it was the county animal shelter, you could just go in and you could look at the animals and you could take one home. But now it's morphed into the Penelope,
Oh, the Penelope and Kershaw refuge for homeless dogs and cats.
And now it has more rules and regulations than I don't know what.
Well, those Kershowers must have given them money, and there were strings attached. What else is new? Where there's money, there's always strings.
Strings? Hoops to jump through.
So, we'll jump. We're in this now, let's just do it.
That fuzzy gray kitten got to you, didn't it, Ma? Me too,
Yeah.
I guess. We're goners. We kicked the little guy out before we grasped all the ramifications.
Well, that is a fact. But so darling he is. So precious, precious, precious. What did you say they were calling him?
Epsilon. But maybe we should change that.
Well, sure, whatever you want.
So, how's the puzzle coming, Ma?
No, here, I'm wrecking Versailles.
Well, let them eat ketchup.
The knickknacks, now use the box, please, for the Hummels. Wrap them in tissues or use these newspapers here.
You know, no offense, Ma, but you have a boatload of knickknacks. No one collects that many tchotchkes nowadays. Why did you collect so many little...
Well, I don't know. You know, people collected them to give them something to do, I suppose.
Oh,
Something to dust.
sure.
Move into the air, who knows?
Yeah, right.
So, what were you saying about...
Oh, I was just observing that the other week when I was over at Donna's, that she was presenting them with like a jillion flower arrangement choices, and they had that deer in the headlights look.
What? Who?
You know you dust with that feather duster thing? You're not getting rid of the dust, you're just moving it into the air and we're breathing it in. You really should use a microfiber cloth.
Oh, micro. I've been breathing in dust for this long. It has not done me in yet, and if it does now, big deal. I mean, as long as I can get that kitten for a little while before it happens. I mean, I've reached the life expectancy that one expects.
What about me? I should still have a few years left according to the actuary table.
You'll meet a nice man, you'll move out, you will not have to worry about breathing in dust.
No. If there is one thing that Edward Pickering leaving me flat after 28 years has taught me, is that nice man is an oxymoron.
What about your father? Your father was nice at times.
So there's exceptions that prove the rule.
Well, bygones anyway with Edgar. You know, it's been 4 years now, Susan. What's done is done. I mean, you're doing good now.
Right. Well, anyways, you know that wedding extravaganza that Donna's planning for Nicole? You know, the Valentine's Day production number? Don't you think it's a little over the top?
Yes, well, maybe, but, you know, whatever they want. I mean, whatever makes them happy. Who am I to judge?
That's the thing. I don't know if it does. See, when I was over there, she was presenting the bridal couple with those possible flower arrangement choices, and both Matt and Nicole had that deer in the headlights look.
I don't understand this deer in the headlights stuff. What in the...
You know, Ma, it's when a deer starts to cross the road and it sees a car and it freezes because it can't decide to go forward or to go back. So it looks, it freezes, and then it gets hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez Louise, Susan, do you have to talk about horrible things happening to innocent animals? We're about to get a kitten here.
Okay, it's just an expression.
Oh, well, let's not express it. Let's talk about nice things, like Epsilon. Let's talk about, you know, it wasn't just that he walked on over to us in that cage. It was that he then let me pick him up, and he let me hold him. And, you know, he really seemed to like it, and I loved it. It was like nothing else mattered right then, and I just never wanted to move.
You know, maybe you're afraid of being scratched if you did.
Oh, don't be funny, Susan. I'm talking serious now. It was a very positive feeling, and I bet I was being flooded with those endorphin things.
I bet you were, Mom. And it's wonderful, and I really think it's great we're doing this, and it's about time, too.
Yeah, I just can't wait to get that kitten. Oh, gee, Willikers, I sound like a kid at Christmas.
Well, you can look at this as Christmas Eve. We should be able to get him tomorrow. I mean, as long as everything goes okay here, and I don't see why it shouldn't.
Well, are you sure we're good here then?
I've looked. I mean, we've got everything in place. We're upstanding citizens. We have all our supplies. And, you know, the only thing that I could see going wrong was that if we get Alzheimer's in the next 30 minutes and start unboxing the puzzle pieces and the knickknacks. But chances are that only one of us would get Alzheimer's, so the other one could quickly box everything back up before she gets here.
Sure, yeah, right. Oh, well, good. You know, I've always wanted a kitten. It's been a dream of mine for my entire life.
Well, that's good, Mom. You really deserve it.
Well, I don't know how a kitten could have eluded me for my entire life. You know, I guess. At first, my parents couldn't afford it. It was the Great Depression. And I gotta tell you, though, it wasn't so great. If you wanted a cat and I could never have one. And then I married your father, and he was allergic. I mean, not deathly, like with the throat swelling up and you gotta rush to the hospital or anything, but he would sneeze. And, you know, even though he said, Joan, if you really want a kitten, go ahead, get one. What's the big deal about sneezes? But I said no. One sneeze, 2 sneezes, not so bad, but After a few years, that's gotta add up. Thousands. Oh, no, I just couldn't bring myself to do that, no. No, and then, after that, after your father passed, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I was babysitting for Donna's kids here, and they were pretty rough and tumble then. And I sure did not want them pulling any cat's tail or getting bit, you know. And then I guess I got distracted by all that unpleasantness with, oh, never mind, honey.
Go ahead, Ma, you can say it. Edward Pickering leaving me flat after 28 years.
Bygones.
And then me running here like a complete basket case.
You're doing fine now, Susan. In fact, you're doing great.
Super!
You are. You know, and then after that, I don't know, why didn't I get a cat in the last few years? I don't know. I really think that when you can't have a kitten or something you want for so long, well, then when you can finally have it, it doesn't occur to you that you can. And I don't know, you get what I'm saying?
Not really. Not the part about where you finally can. Never had that experience.
Oh, always with the sarcasm. Brighten up. We've got a good day ahead of both of us. And a lot of good days ahead bringing up a kitten.
So why did we decide to get a cat anyways?
Oh, we have you to thank for it. Yes, we do. Don't you remember? It was just the other night. We were watching Wheel of Fortune and that cat commercial came on. Yeah, the one with the real beautiful leopardy patterned cat.
No. We were watching Jeopardy, and it was a tigery patterned cat.
Oh, for who cares? The point is, the cat commercial came on, and something clicked. And you said, Mom, why don't we get a kitten? And that's how this whole ball got rolling.
The whole ball of yarn, as it were. Weren't there some rules and regulations that we should probably look over?
Oh, yes, we should. And they do say in there, no balls of yarn are for cats anymore. Did you want to read these to me, Susan? Nah, I'll read them. You just keep working on the knickknacks and getting them boxed up over there.
Sure.
Oh, let's see, the Penelope and Kershaw Refuge. Okay, do we have time to read these before that pet adoption counselor gets here?
Or comes crying? Yeah, a little. Go on.
The Penelope and Kershaw Refuge for Homeless Dogs and Cats. Cat Division. Oh my gosh. Wow, there are a lot of rules in here. Cat adoption guidelines. There's 10 of them, Susan.
Oh. Like the 10 Commandments?
Good point. You know, that's really how we should look at these. They're like set in stone. The 10 Commandments of how we can get our cat. Anyways, it begins. Whereas the welfare of the cats under our stewardship is our primary and overriding consideration.
A preamble? They have got to be kidding.
That, or you should say Holy Moses. It's the 10 Commandments, remember?
Oh, true. Holy Moses, so read me the commandments.
Whereas the welfare of the cats under our stewardship is our primary and overriding consideration. People adopt adopting a cat should have the financial ability and wherewithal to provide for the long-term feeding of the animal with a high-quality diet that meets the requirements set forth by the American Association for Feline Nutrition.
Okay, no problem. We've got 20 cans of cat food lined up in the kitchen.
Right, all the cat heads are all lined up.
What?
The pictures on the labels, I lined them all up, real neat, one on top of the other. I thought the cat lady would think we were really neat and organized.
Isn't that a little... Never mind, go on.
Same sort of thing about veterinary care, long-term, comprehensive, wherewithal, all of that.
Right, well, we have the vet picked out and there's a magnet on the refrigerator. So we're good, go on.
Number 3, all family members in the adoptive household should be involved in the adoption decision and nurturance of the animal.
Yeah. You, me, both in, fine.
Number 4, oh my, and this one starred. Must mean it's super important. Cats will be adopted out only into harmonious, peaceful environments. The Kersauer refuge will not release its animals into any home in which humans perpetrate any physical violence whatsoever upon either animals or humans.
Wow, but fair enough. And I really don't think that you and I are going to start beating on each other anytime soon.
Nah, no chance. I remember the last time I hit you. You were about 7, maybe 8 years old. I swore off of it right out of the bat.
I don't remember. What happened?
Some silly thing. You were mad at your sister about your doll.
Yes,
Thought you'd taken it.
I remember. She stole my best doll. So I took her down and I gave it a haircut. A very short haircut.
Yeah, very, very short. I tried to talk to you about what you had done. You gave me some lip, so I swatted you. In those days, you could still hit a kid, nobody minded.
Except the kid.
Well, of course. Anyway, I swatted you, and you know what you did? All you did was you turned around and you said, gee, I hope you got that out of your system.
And then what did I say?
Nothing, that was it. At first I felt burned. It was a very, very cheeky thing for you to say. Oh, but then, I don't know, I thought about it maybe. All I know is I swore off of it right then and there, and I never laid a hand on you or Donna ever again after that. No.
Well, I guess that takes care of that commandment number 4. Go on.
Okay, let me see. I think we've got all these other ones covered.
Okay.
Cat must remain indoors.
Check.
ID collar at all times. Litter box maintain hygiene. Cat carrier federally approved. Variety of stimulating toys. Scratching post. Yada, 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 yada.
It's yada, 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 yada.
Oh, well, I used to know a yada.
It looks like we have everything covered. So we're all good.
I think so. Number 10. No cat shall be declawed. Certainly not going to do that.
Oh, no way. It leaves that animal defenseless.
Yeah, like those Bambis about to be hit by a speeding... Geez, Susan, I really wish you hadn't brought that up. I mean, that image keeps popping into my head.
Pop it back out. We still have a few things to do before she gets here.
Yeah, well, we're okay though, right?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Hey, just let me move the scratching post.
Don't you think that looks like we're trying a little bit too hard? Okay, good. You sure we're okay here?
Yeah, we're excellent. Everything's good. I mean, we've got our Versailles put away. We've got the scratching posts. So all we have to do is sit here in our peaceful and harmonious environment.
Susan, what are you doing?
I am centering my chi, maximizing the peace and harmoniousness of my environment.
Well, stop it, that lady's gonna think we're kooks.
Now, no kidding, Mom. I'll get disqualified from adopting commandment number 4.
Yeah, 4, the one that starred. I'm just getting a little nervous, I'm sorry.
Well, don't be nervous. We're golden. Epsilon is ours.
Hello, I'm Susan.
Nicole!
I'm so glad you're here.
What happened to you?
The worst day of my life happened to me. Or one of them.
Susan, that does not sound like the cat lady.
Oh, Grandma.
Nicole, what has happened?
The worst day of my life happened. One of them.
What in the world?
I had to get out of the car. I don't think I can go through with it.
Go through with what?
I can't believe you said that to me.
Who said what?
I'll have to.
Who?
Have to rethink.
Who?
Enough with the owl bit.
I'm just glad you two are here.
Well, where were you?
Plus, you were closer to the on-ramp.
What on-ramp?
The one I got off at. Totally irrevocably off, I think.
What on-ramp, darling?
Maybe she's just being metaphorical.
No, the one to the parkway. What happened to your Versailles thing? Did you finish it?
No, but...
Funny you should mention that. We just now put it away because we're expecting, we're going to have a... Oh, Nicole, you look terrible.
Thanks, it matches the way I feel.
What happened?
I had to get out of the car.
Were you being kidnapped?
Car.
No, my car.
What? You were car-napped, honey?
Carjacked.
No, Matt was driving.
I don't understand.
I don't either. How can it be like one way all the time and then all of a sudden another way?
Oh
I
my
don't.
God. You don't mean you had to get out of the car because you were going to be in a terrible accident. You mean he went off of the on-ramp or onto the off-ramp? Oh my God. No wonder I'm having nightmare hauntings about deers in the roadway. Oh my gosh. Were you hit? Are you okay? Is Matt okay?
Oh, no, I'm fine. And Matt, I guess he's still on his way to the city. At least one of the tickets will get used.
Tickets?
Broadway. Play.
Oh, so much for plays reducing the stress level.
Nicole, this is terrible. This is really terrible, but I don't understand any of it. Could you start at the beginning, the very beginning?
Sure, Susan. I met Matthew Pinsler about 3 years ago, senior year of college, spring semester. We thought we were compatible because we were both majoring in economics and thinking of becoming financial.
Maybe not the very beginning. Could you just start with today?
Oh, sorry. Matt came over to pick me up because we were going into the city to see a play. Well, actually, technically not to pick me up because he left his car at the house and we switched to mine, although he continued to drive. You see, my car gets better gas mileage.
Could you insert,
Oh, yeah. Anyway, he came over early because first we had to discuss arrangements for the wedding with my mother. The napkins.
I knew it. Donna's excessive obsessive-compulsive disorder with the napping clerk has driven them over the edge.
Oh, no, that's not it, Aunt Susan, really. It's not that simple. Nothing's simple anymore.
Oh, you ought to know that, Susan, after trying to adopt a stray.
Sure, right. Go on, Nick.
Well, we couldn't figure out the exact color of the napkins before we had to get going for the play, but that wasn't it, like I said. Oh.
So sorry. So what happened? What did he say?
We got going. Everything was fine. Everything was all good. Everything was all good. Everything was all good. And then he said it.
And everything was all bad?
Exactly. Because he didn't take it back.
Good heavens, what did he say?
So I had to get out of the car. Why stay in a car with someone you're not going to spend the rest of your life with?
Well, unless the person's a cab driver.
I think she meant that she had just decided that...
That's right. I had just decided that at this point, I don't think I can go through with the marriage.
Oh, honey. The marriage is, don't worry about that. All you have to go through with is the wedding. The marriage will take care of itself. Cool.
That is just about the worst piece of advice I ever heard.
I was just trying to make her feel better. I mean, you had a tip. He said something, you will get over it. Now, Nicole, why are there leaves in your hair?
The on-ramp was on an incline. Sort of an embankment kind of thing. I realized if I didn't get out then and there, I wouldn't be able to once we were on the parkway because we'd be going too fast. And even if he was willing to stop, there'd be no good place to stop except for rest stops, and then how would I get home? So I got out. He said, have a nice life, and I got out.
Shites!
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
I didn't realize how much of an incline the on-ramp was on. So I slid down, and there were all these bushes. Amazing amount of litter down there.
Oh, good gracious.
Yeah, but I'm all right.
And you walked here all the way from the entrance to the...
Parkway. Yeah.
Oh, honey, why didn't you call us? Your Aunt Susan would have come pick you up. Well, although we are waiting for the cat for bygones. So, then what happened?
So, I'm sorry, this is awfully happening to you, but what did he say that made you want to... Oh, not that you have to tell us.
No, honey, you don't have to tell us. Tell us.
I don't mind. He said he wanted to move to Montana.
What?
I know, can you believe it?
Nicole, speeding this up a little because, we're good. So, he said, so if you two, Montana? He said he wanted to move to Montana. But of course, you don't always have to do what Matt says. Because, why should the woman always have to do what the man says?
Oh, certainly not. It's very unhealthy. And I mean, even the opposite is very unhealthy. When the man does everything that the woman, Nicole, look at your parents.
Right. Spot on about Howie and Donna. I mean, listen, my original point was that even if you two did move out to Montana, it's not the end of the world.
But what about jobs?
Oh, I'm sure you can find financial analysis jobs out there.
Sure, analyzing tumbleweed futures. No disrespect, Grandma, but...
No. I mean, I know there's probably not as many options out there, but, I mean, seriously, what is here? Everything here, financial, has gone to hell in a handbasket, unless you're in the 1%. So what's to analyze?
Never mind that. Maybe she's afraid of missing people if they go to Montana. Listen, Nicole, if you're worried about missing people, don't give it another thought. I am certain that we will constantly fly out to visit you. Myself, your mother, your father, your brothers, even Checkers, I bet. Dogs travel cross country all the time nowadays.
And don't leave me out of it. I mean, even though I swore off traveling after that one particular trip when I flew down to Tampa and I got caught in that thunder cane.
Thunderstorm?
No, hurricane. It was more like a hurricane, Susan, with all that buffeting around. Anyways, honey, I would become a regular jet setter again. For you, I would.
Oh, that's very nice, Grandma, but I don't think it would be necessary for you, I mean, or for Checkers. I mean...
What do you mean?
Right. She means it's not necessary for those with, limited, because the plan is not something on the, immediate, front burner?
Yeah. He said he wanted to eventually move to Montana.
Nicole, he said that he might want to relocate to some western state in some hypothetical distant future, and for that, you jumped out of a moving vehicle and tumbled down a ravine?
Yes. But you don't understand. In that moment, he changed my whole idea of who he was, what he wanted from life, what our lives together were going to be like.
Oh, Nicole, honey, maybe there's a little bit of elementary knowledge that nobody's taught you yet, and maybe now's a good time for you to know this.
Yes?
When a man says that he wants something, and it's like years and years out into the future, there is a very good chance that you can talk him out of it by then. I mean, you have a whole big window of opportunity there.
And now might be a really good time to mention something else.
But I feel like I've been, I don't know, blindsided.
Well, your grandmother and I decided to adopt a kitten.
It's like so unfair in a way.
We've already picked him out. See how cute. He's nice and friendly, too. The shelter people are calling him Epsilon. He had a lot of Greek brothers and sisters.
It's nice, Greek. It just feels like all of our previous conversations, our understandings, they didn't even exist.
Yes. Well, we're getting him from the shelter, except they've changed it over to this new regime, this,
Yeah, that fancy Delancey Kershaw refuge place, so where you gotta do a whole song and dance to get your cat.
I know, they're very demanding. I have a friend who works there.
Huh?
Yeah, Greenlee.
It's a name, like Haley, only green. See, the thing is, we are about to be visited by one of their pet adoption counselors, and...
Yeah, Ashley. Like Greenlee, only gray.
Anyways, we're trying to craft an image for a home of tranquility, peace, and harmony, and...
You know, happy for bringing up a kitty type thing.
Yes, exactly. Peace, tranquility, happy. Do you think you could help us out along those lines just for a little while? Oh, you two just relax. I'll get it. Just a minute.
Did she come here? Of course she did. Nicole, what the fuck did you think you were doing? Miss Gerson.
Pickering.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just that... God! This has been the worst day of my life!
Or one of them.
Nicole! What the hell were you doing?
To come in.
I'm asking you!
Getting out before it was too late.
You jumped out of a moving vehicle! Who jumps out of moving vehicles?
People who are desperate.
The only thing that is desperate about you, Nicole, uncle is in desperate need of an attitude adjustment or PMS medicine.
Never a good thing to say to a woman, Matt.
Better to a woman than a man.
What if she's trans?
Matt.
What?
I'm sorry, but jeez, jumping out of a moving car.
Well, I asked you to stop.
We were on an on-ramp to a major thoroughfare in New York City. There were like 5 cars behind us. How could I stop? You could have gotten killed.
Well, it certainly took you long enough to come back and see if I was or wasn't.
Oh, Matt, would you like some social tea biscuits? Nicole?
To tell you the truth, I continued on to the city for a while because I was mad as hell. At least one of the tickets wouldn't be squandered because of some selfish... Then I turned back, obviously.
Some selfish what? Some selfish realization that the man I thought I was going to marry is not that man at all?
What am I, some pod person? No! Some selfish notion you could block out every aspect of my future like some friggin' simplistic board game of life. That we'd have our happy little house and our happy little cars and our couple of kids. We'd tool around in our little neighborhood and forever and ever be down the block from your mother. No offense to your daughter, Mrs. Gerson, or your sister, Mrs. Pickering.
Oh, don't worry about it.
So when exactly did you think we could make this move to Montana?
Obviously not now. We have to finish up our financial internship thing and establish our careers.
Well, thank you very much.
Not that I'm all of that.
Or maybe you meant after we have kids, so we can be as far as possible from any major financial center and cut ourselves off from any way to make money for their college educations.
Maybe he meant you could telecommute.
Maybe he meant we could support ourselves by being cowboys.
Cow persons. And, maybe he meant you could retire there. I mean, maybe you could buy a condominium out there. Real estate values can't be that, because it's so far out. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what I meant exactly. All I know is that moving to Montana sounds like a good idea to me. It's big sky country.
Oh,
So?
it's Big Sky Country. It's the nickname of the state.
Well, why not Connecticut, Matt? That is the nutmeg state. It's their nickname, and it's a whole lot closer.
Yes, but big sky country. Something about the sound of that, just infinite possibilities.
Now might be a good time to mention another possibility. Nicole's grandmother and I have the potential to adopt a kitten. Yes. See how cute? Yes. See, the thing is, Matt, we have to pass inspection with the pet adoption counselor. She's going to be here at any minute. And we're trying to craft an image of a tranquil Malou. So I was wondering, oh, hey, by the way, where's your car?
Her car actually parked a few blocks down.
Why did you park it there?
Who cares? Maybe he wanted the exercise. Look, Susan, we need to do something here.
I know, we have to really get them out of here.
Yes. Maybe we should put them in the back room or something.
You want to stuff them in a room together?
Well, yes, we could stuff them in the back bedroom, and, at least they're talking to each other now, and there's no ravine out the back window. Really, they are in no condition to drive.
Well, he's not in any better condition than her, but maybe we could have him take a walk.
No, there could be a cliff out there. She might fall off, or she might just be she's not,
There are no cliffs out there, Mom.
No, I'm not sending them out there. I would be way too worried. I just don't know, no. I think we need to stuff them in the back bedroom. They're in no condition to drive.
Okay.
And
Okay.
You know, if we have any chance in hell of getting our cat.
Okay. Mad. Nicole, could you do us a big favor? Could you go into the back room and, relax, hang out, chill, discuss, whatever, at a very low volume? I mean, I think that you are starting to discuss your issues in a mature and productive manner.
Yeah, and don't come back until the cat lady sings. Until the cat lady leaves.
Secretary, Mrs. Gerson.
For you, I'll go here. And yes.
That is probably the stupidest thing we have ever done.
Well, what were we supposed to do? We had to get them out of this main maloo.
You know, the thing is if they're so volatile, they could explode into here at any minute.
I know, but...
You two are going to help me choose napkin colors. I trust your aesthetic sensibilities implicitly. Good, we'll use this table.
Oh.
Donna, you didn't even call. How did you know we'd be here?
You're always here. You cannot make a sensible choice about napkin colors without taking into account the linen, tablecloth, against which to judge it. Not doing so makes no sense, and whether that'll factor into my decision, I don't know. But you should know that this cloth, while it looks white, is not actually white. It's winter white, which I've chosen for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, the wedding is taking place in winter. And two, the winter white gives a slightly warmer cast than plain stark white. Provides a nicer complement to the reds I'm about to show you. Winter white is the closest you can get to linen white, which is always a nice choice, especially when talking about table linens. That's a no-brainer. By the way, your table was so clear. What happened to that mansion thing you were working on?
No. The mansion thing is what you're working on. It's your house.
Touché. But I was talking about the jigsaw puzzle. Was it a palace?
Yes, the palace at Versailles, and we're scrapping it because...
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. I can never finish them either. Now here are the choices. Dark red, rose, that's the most pinkish, but I'd still call it a red. Vermilion, primary red, crimson, and garnet. Now which one do you think?
Garnet.
You really think so?
No, but it was the last one you said, and it stuck in my head. See, the thing is, we've been trying to,
I've been working on this for like a whole week, and it's been really tough. First I thought the garnet too. It has that classic Valentine look to it. But then I thought, no, the crimson. It's deeper looking, a more saturated shade. But then I thought maybe too much so. So I went with the primary red, but that seemed a little, elementary. Not enough sophistication. Nicole and Matt were over at the house helping me with it, but they had to go to a matinee in the city. We never really reached a consensus. And I'm supposed to call the people about it this afternoon, and, I said I would, and one doesn't want to alienate them. So I asked Howie. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know what I was thinking either when I sent to answer the
I
door.
said, Howie, what color napkin should we go with for the wedding? And he says, it's a Valentine's thing, right? Why not red? I said, would you look at the choices? It's not that easy. So he gets up to go look at the choices. I'll give him that. You know how he loves to sit in his lazy boy on the weekend. And you know what he says to me when all is said and done? Surprise me.
Speaking of surprises.
Shh, don't, Donna. Go with the garnet. Your first impulse is the right one. Don't you agree, Mom?
Yes, I do. I agree. Darn it. It's the one that looks most like blood.
What?
Yeah, I meant that in a good way.
Yes, in a really, really good way. Like royal blood, like rich blood. Go with the garnet. Your first impulse. It was nice seeing you, Donna.
Are you sure about the garnet?
Absolutely.
Oh, positively. If I go to Nicole's wedding and I see napkins and art, garnet, I'm leaving.
Me too.
Seriously, you both agree? I'm so glad I was beginning not to trust my own judgment.
Me either. I really think we need to get into people.
What?
Nothing.
I'm not sure that blood is the right connotation. I mean, association.
Donna, you have a Valentine's Day theme. A Valentine is a heart. Hearts pump blood. It's what they do. If you didn't want blood, you shouldn't have had a Valentine's Day theme. I mean, and by the way, we are waiting for a pet adoption counselor to come here and approve us to adopt a kitten that we've already picked out and we really want, especially Mom. So you know it's not really a good time for us right now.
Cute. You know, I never really thought of Valentine's Day as being about hearts per se, and more about heart-stirring feelings. You know, love, romance, nice flowery feelings.
Donna, if you looked at a Valentine, I mean, really looked at a Valentine, if that is not an internal representation of an internal organ, I don't know what is. I mean, you can practically see the articles and ventricles spurting out blood or whatever ones do it, I don't know.
Blood.
Forget what I said about blood. It's garnet. It's a garnet. A garnet is a jewel. And what better choice than a garnet, a jewel?
Yes, case closed.
Blood. I thought I heard you out here, Mom, talking about blood. Why are you out here talking about blood? Oh, your grandma and Aunt Susan thought the garnet one looked the most... Nicole, I thought you were at that play. What are you doing here?
That's a question I've been asking myself a lot lately, but in kind of some broader ways. What? I mean, for instance, what am I doing in this relationship? Interacting with someone I'm not sure I can really relate to.
Well, you have to interact with me. I'm your mother. It's the law.
She means with me.
Matt, I thought you two were going to the city to see that.
We were, only after she jumped out of the car, it was only me going. So I turned back.
I'm getting kind of a bad feeling here. Maybe someone ought to further explain? I'm getting kind of a really bad feeling here. Something has happened between you two and I don't understand. When you were over this morning working on napkin choices, everything was as sunny as could be.
Oh, that's the thing about choosing napkins. It's such a bright and cheery thing. It brightens everything up. But once you stop...
Stop it, Susan. Something has happened and I don't understand.
Oh, he wanted to move to another state.
We were on our way to the city. We started to have a conversation, and I mentioned that at some point in our future, I'd like to move to Montana. She didn't like that idea, so she jumped out of the car.
No, that's ridiculous. You must be mistaken.
With all due respect, I'm not mistaken, Mrs. White.
Matt, I told you you can call me Mom.
I'm not mistaken, Mrs. Mom.
Your story, it makes no sense. I mean, things like this don't happen to happily engaged couples. Unless the woman has PMS, Nicole?
No, that's not it at all. That's not what this is about.
What is it about then? I've never heard such a ridiculous story in my life.
It's about...
It's about my kitten plans going to Bluey. Look at that. Is she here yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Nicole, why do do you look so messed up, so bedraggled?
I already told you, Mrs. Mom. She jumped out of a moving car.
I didn't. Right before the parkway. Then I had to sort of make my way down the embankment.
Good Lord in heaven, there's all that garbage down there.
I managed to roll clear of most of it.
Why did you do this, Nicole?
Because I said too many positive things about Montana.
How many positive things can you say about Montana between our house and the parkway? It's only 5.5 miles.
My wanting to move there, and it being big sky country, I guess just two. Enough to make her want to bail on me anyway.
No. Things like this don't happen to happily engaged couples.
Maybe you got one of your adjectives wrong, Mother. Or maybe you mean for engaged couples, for which you've already put up $9,000 deposit money on the reception and told all your friends what a fantastic event it's going to be.
Don't patronize me. Don't put me down for something I'm doing for you. Now, I want to know what happened in that car.
Why should I tell you that?
Because your story makes no sense. I mean, if I jumped out of the car every time your father said something objectionable, I would have been run over years ago. I want to know, word for word, what happened in that argument.
Why do I owe you a word for word?
For $9,000, you owe me a videotape.
Hey.
Not yet.
So tell me.
I'll tell you, Mrs. White, Mom.
Go on.
We're on our way to the city. We got to talking about when to get an apartment where it should be to make our commute to the downtown easier. We got to talking, and with the house market the way it is, we decided it might be better to buy. Then I mentioned
Out of the blue.
that at some point in our future it'd be nice to move to Montana.
Yes. And I asked him what he meant.
Translation. She said, "What?" She said, "Why would you want to do that?" And I said, "It's big sky country, Nicole." She said, "What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?" And I said, "No one's talking about China, Nicole. We're talking about Montana. In our United States, here." She tells me she'd been taken completely by surprise, and what was she supposed to think? And I said she was supposed to consider my feelings. That's what she was supposed to do, seeing as she was asking.
Well, consider my position. I've just been hit by something totally out of left field. I've never had any positive feelings about Montana in my entire life. It's the most impractical state anyone could ever pick to live in, if you're going into finance anyway. We'd have no support network there, no friends or family or anything at all. All there is cattle or buffalo or whatever, and psychopaths and little cabins. Plus it's cold there, I was feeling a tad upset.
So you jumped out of the car.
No. What do you think I am, crazy? I mean, I didn't jump out of the car at that point. I tried to reason with him. I said, remember when we were out on the lakes on the swing by the lake? We were swinging back and forth in sync, telling each other all of our fondest hopes and dreams for the future. The sun was setting and it was so nice. Well, you didn't mention anything about Montana at that time.
I said, to tell you the truth, all this swinging is making me a bit nauseous. So sorry I didn't get to it. Besides, I didn't say I'd tell you all of my hopes and dreams, now did I?
It was assumed.
So I left something out. Is that so terribly terrible?
I told him there wouldn't be any terribleness whatsoever if he took it back.
Take what back? That's what I said. She said, take back your wanting to move to Montana! And I said, that's ridiculous, Nicole. Why should I take back one of my fondest hopes and dreams?
And I said, it's not one of my fondest hopes and dreams. It's not even way down on the list, and we're supposed to be in everything together.
And I said, that doesn't seem to be the case, now does it?
I said, it certainly doesn't.
That's when she tells me, stop the car, she's getting out. I told her we couldn't. We were almost onto that parkway. But she insists, like a mad woman. And the next thing I know, she's jumping out of the car saying, have a nice life!
this is just one of those typical couple spats. You both might be blowing it out of proportion. Are you sure it's not the wrong time of the month, Nicole?
No. I already told you that's not it. I see you and Matt are in perfect agreement in your theories of women's physiology. Maybe you should be the one marrying him.
Oh, did we mention about the kitten?
Who do you think? Her father, Howard White?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got a little confused about the difference between a marriage contract and one where you get to own a serf.
Enough with the caustic humor, Susan. My world is falling apart here.
Your world. Your world. Only your one day of catered glory, that's all.
No, that's not fair, Nicole. Maybe she had hopes for our future.
What, in some wilderness-infested state where we'll be forced to live off of food stamps?
You really don't know what it's like there, do you?
I'm not an expert on the Wild West, no.
And you're not an expert at negotiating your way out of disagreements either.
Petty disagreements, I might add.
What are you, in cahoots with him? I thought you were my mother. Or now that you've got him calling you Mrs. Mom, are you now more his?
Oh, please.
If you talk about petty is choices of napkin color or which bouquet to get. I see nothing petty in the difference between here and Montana. It's 2 whole time zones away. Or is it 3?
She just meant...
And to think that one of the reasons I wanted not to move cross country was so that I could stay near you.
Aw, that's nice.
And get free babysitting down the line.
Don't presume to tell me my motives.
And don't presume to tell me about a state that you don't know the first thing about.
I didn't, because I don't. But I'll tell you the second thing about it. I don't want to live there.
Well, that makes no sense. You know zilch about a state, but you don't want to move there. No sense.
Yeah, and here's another state I'm thinking makes no sense. The state of matrimony with you.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Maybe you should reevaluate things.
Oh, really? Like, reevaluate what exactly?
Like reevaluate jumping out of cars whenever someone tells you one of their hopes and dreams that doesn't so happen to be on your approved list.
Go reevaluate your head.
I should forever wanting to.
It's time to cool down now, Matt.
It's hard to cool down when someone's taunting you. With all due respect, Mrs. Mom.
You can stop calling her that.
I'll decide that.
No, I'll decide. You're my mother, so I'll decide. And I'll decide whether to go through with this whole thing, thank you very much.
Now, about the kitten.
I wouldn't take this all that personally. She always was high-strung.
Well, they're my strings, so I get to decide how high to string them.
See, another statement that makes no sense.
What, like springing a long-distance move on someone does?
Does not compute.
Reboot your computer.
Ridiculous.
No, here's what's ridiculous, Mother. You're making judgments about words that were said in cars when you have no idea the tone of voice with which they were said. The intonation.
My intonation is what you're upset about now, not the whole Montana thing. Jeez, you're fickle and sensitive.
Better than being in.
I'm sure we mentioned that.
Sensitive. Insensitive, like you. And anyways, what I was saying was, Mother, Mrs. Mother, no one has any way of knowing what tones of voice some members of couples use when they're in private.
I know the tones of voice some members of couples use when they're in public. Childish.
Demeaning.
Idiotic.
Maybe
Insulting.
you should think
Maybe
about
you should think about something more than damage control for your social image.
That's going too far.
Oh, just shut up! Listen up, the 3 of you! So you're miserable and you're unhappy! I get it. I respect that. And I'm sorry. But here's the deal. We are miserable and unhappy all the time. And we have finally found a little thing to make it just a little bit better. A kitten that we want to adopt. And he's just so cute. He's fuzzy, he's gray, and he's the sweetest, cuddliest little thing you ever saw. And he's just waiting at the shelter for us to come get him and make him a part of our home. And we're counting on that. I mean, really, look around the house. It does look a little different, doesn't it? I mean, do you really think think we got a scratching post for our own nails? But here's the problem. We have to pass muster with the pet adoption counselor, and she is coming here any minute. And she's not going to want to see you guys doing this. She's going to want to see peace. She's going to want to see harmony. She's not going to want to see brawling, noisy, angry, I don't know, out of control, overbearing, large people that could scare a little kitten out of its mind at any minute. No. She's going to want to see, she's going to require that the people who frequent our home are calm, quiet, restrained, in control, animal-loving types. Do you understand what I am saying? So, I can see that none of you are in the right mental state to operate a motor vehicle. So, here's what we're going to do. You're going to sit there for the next few minutes or hours or however long it takes for her to evaluate us, and you're going to act like you as all good as can be. Yes. The Montana question can wait.
Although it is about more than just Montana.
Oh yeah, it's about my intonation.
It's about communication. Aggravation, good Lord.
I can see I didn't make myself clear. It's about you owe us this. It's about you are going to act for the next few minutes like you have been taking the happiest antidepressant on the market. And you've been taking it for weeks. And it's finally kicking in, and now you are supremely contented. You're quiet, restrained, extremely animal-loving types who are knowledgeable and care about animals.
Zola,
I am not kidding, Donna.
I guess I am knowledgeable about the humongous bills for Labrador retrievers.
And we do care about checkers.
Cars pulling in the driveway.
I've had a rabbit once. But my brother and I kept forgetting to feed him, so he didn't last that long.
Well, for the purposes of this interview, let's resurrect little Peter Cocktail from the dead, okay?
Sure, Mrs. Chicory, no problem.
Sorry I'm late. Ashley Abramowitz from the Kershaw Refuge.
Come in, Mr. Abramowitz. Would you like some social tea biscuits?
You know, once you get your kitten, you won't be able to leave your door open like that. You'll run straight out.
Oh, I was just, I'm sorry. You're a man.
Yes, I do believe that's the case. Ashley Abramowitz.
Susan Chickering, I'm sorry, we were expecting...
Oh, never mind that. Joan Gerson, her mother. It's an equal opportunity world now, isn't it? And we do not care what sex you are. That too. We don't even care what gender our kitten is. All we care about is if it's healthy.
Well, little Epsilon is certainly healthy. The Kershaw Refuge has made sure of that.
Splendid, splendid. Come on in, Mr. Abramowitz.
No, Mr. Abramowitz. Ashley, please.
Oh, surely, Ashley. Ashley, I'd like you to meet my daughter, Donna White. And this is my granddaughter, Nicole. And this is her...
Pleased to meet you all.
Now, those all don't live here, but they do visit sometimes, and, well,
We love animals too.
That's wonderful.
now, would you like some tea, coffee, social tea biscuits?
Nothing, thanks.
No, okay, well, please, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable, sit anywhere you want. And you should know that when little Epsilon gets here, he can sit anywhere he wants to. We're not fussy about furniture or anything else he could get his little claws into. No, he's, I don't know, yes, we just want him.
So, you've had cats before?
Oh, no. No, unfortunately not. I mean, unfortunately, circumstances prevented it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, that's too bad.
Oh, at first, my parents couldn't afford it. It was the Depression. And, you know, kids were lucky if their parents could afford a few cents for a rubber ball or a piece of rope to jump with or a stick of chalk to draw on the sidewalk. They certainly weren't gonna go for a cat that had to be continually fed. And then after that, well, I got married and my husband, he was allergic. Not terribly, mind you, but just enough to sneeze. And, you know, that's not so bad, but after 15 or 20 years of sneezing, no. No. That is the good long life expectancy for a cat, isn't it? All right, that's what I would have wanted to provide for the animal, too. So I said no. I just couldn't bring myself to do that. You know, what one will do for one spouse. I'm sure you know that.
Actually, I don't, never having had one.
You don't? Oh, you mean you haven't? You mean you're free? I mean, you're free to have an animal? Do you have an animal?
I do, a dog.
Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice, Susan? Yes. So, yes. You'll have to forgive her for assuming, you know, that you were a woman. I assumed it too. And, you know, Ashley, that's so unisex.
It is very unisex, Mrs. Gerson.
Oh, drop Mrs. Call me Joan.
Well, Joan, let me tell you how I wound up with the name. You see, when I was born, my mother had recently seen a movie called Gone with the Wind. She was quite taken with one of the characters, Ashley Wilkes.
Played by Leslie Howard, no?
Exactly, Leslie Howard.
Wow, you know, if she had gone with the first name of the actor instead of the character, you still would have been with the unisex.
Okay, Mother, enough with the unisex.
Well, I'm just saying, geez. Did your mom not like Rhett Butler or Clark Gable?
Mother, maybe he wants to talk about the pet adoption.
Donna, maybe we can manage the pet adoption on our own. It is our pet adoption.
Why, it's no problem at all. I revel in discussion of any sort.
Well then, could you just indulge me in one question? I mean, I was wondering, I guess I was assuming that since all the volunteers at the shelter were women, and since the pet adoption counselor does enter into people's homes, I assumed the shelter would only send a woman because they're less threatening. A man might be, I don't know, scary.
Goodness, I hope I haven't scared you in any way.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You've got to be the least scary person that's been in our home in a very, very long time. I mean, maybe ever.
Because if I have in any way, you know, actually, I'm a very respectable person. Before I took this job, I was a professor at a university, a professor of constitutional law. You can Google me.
Oh no, we'll live dangerously and skip the Googling. We trust you.
Implicitly.
It was just that I was wondering about the thought process at the shelter.
That's a very legitimate question. Let me tell you about the Kershaw Refuge. I was going to do that anyway. When Penelope Kershaw left her request to the shelter, and it was a very sizable amount, she left it with many stipulations to ensure the best outcome for the animals. And one of those stipulations was that while workers in the refuge could be volunteers, the pet adoption counselors who would be entering people's homes, as you rightly pointed out, Mrs. Pickering.
Oh, drop the Chickering. Call her Susan. Chickering flew the coop a long time ago.
Mother?
As Susan pointed out, the pet adoption counselors will be entering people's homes, which is a very serious business. So Penelope Kershaw thought that they should be paid employees, and if they were paid, they would be screened better, and the refuge would get the best people that way.
Oh, wow. And she was so right. Wasn't she, Susan?
You'll have to excuse my mother. She's a little wound up on account of the kitten.
I suppose that since pet adoption counselors are hired employees and legally there can be no discrimination, the refuge would have to hire men as well as women, right?
You're exactly correct. You know your law.
I guess. I mean, I even try to follow it. Unless someone forces me into a traffic violation.
It's an interesting job, pet adoption counselor.
It is.
Do you like the work?
You never asked me that.
What?
I felt like this financial...
Excuse me?
I had a rabbit once. I have a rabbit that I had what? I still have the rabbit. His name's Peter.
Cottontail. Peter Cottontail. He's so cute. He just runs around his little hutch desperately searching for food.
Pet adoption counseling anyways.
As I had said before, I was a professor of constitutional law for many years. I enjoyed it. There were very many interesting issues to discuss and argue over, you know, like why is such and such a law written one way and not another, and strict construction versus loose construction, states' rights versus federalism. But after a while, I got tired of it and decided to retire and find a part-time job as far from being a professor as possible, and this one seemed perfect. I mean, always loved animals, always had a dog.
Is it living up to your expectations?
It is. As a teacher, you know, you're continually challenged by your students, well, of course, why is such and such law written one way and not another? How can you support a particular interpretation of a statute?
What are you talking about? Shh, not.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, that's just the way it's supposed to be.
I felt like
But-
the financial analyst.
Here's the nice change. As a pet adoption counselor, no one challenges me. Everyone wants to be approved to get their animal. And when I enter people's homes, they're all on their best behavior.
We're not on our best behavior. We're always this nice.
Exactly did you mean? I never asked you.
That's what I was saying. If I wanted to be a financial analyst,
Excuse me?
Gigawatts. He's having a little problem with the power company, and my daughter's helping him with that. Let's figure all that out later about the electric bill. Ashley, you said you have a dog? What kind do you have?
A golden retriever.
Yes, the most popular dog in the United States. That's what kind I have too.
It is? I thought Checkers was a Labrador retriever.
Well, he is, but he's a yellow lab, and yellow is golden. They're essentially the same color.
Oh, unlike crimson, rose, and garnet, not essentially being the same color?
You know what I mean. Yellow is golden. Labrador's in Canada, and Canada is practically the United States. I mean, a retriever's a retriever. What do? They retrieve. You throw a stick, they go get it, they bring it back. It's not rocket science, right, Ashley? Those of us who own retrievers understand the commonality of all retrievers. The one spur might be longer than the other spur, but it all sheds in the end anyway.
Well, I suppose...
And as a matter of fact, there's a commonality of all dogs. The essential thing about dogs is they always give you the benefit of the doubt. Why are you looking at me like that? You look at me so dubiously like that, and that just proves what I'm saying. There's the inverse of it, or the converse. Whatever. No, I'm standing my ground. They always give you the benefit of the doubt.
You know, I think you characterized them very well.
Rabbits do too.
Pardon?
Rabbits, they always give you the benefit of the doubt too. I know Peter does to me.
Yeah, especially when you and your brother forgot to feed it.
My sister's dog is a wonderful animal, Checkers. He has a heart of gold, a lovely animal, that Checkers.
Donna, your dog's name is Checkers? Wasn't that Richard Nixon's dog?
It was.
They're Republicans.
Oh, but the dog isn't. And I'm not.
Look, are we gonna talk about politics here, or are we gonna talk about Epsilon? I mean, that cat is getting older and uglier every single minute.
And that we're adopting him only because he's getting little, right? I mean, we're gonna love him even when he's fully grown.
Well, sure, we'll still love him when he's big and ugly. I just want him as all.
Of course you want him. That's why I'm here. I noticed you have the Kershaw folder over there. They sure do pack it full of information. Did you get a chance to read through it? Did you have any questions?
No. I went over everything in there, and Susan and I, we carefully reviewed those 10 Commandments.
What?
The respective cat ownership. Since there were 10 of them, my mother thought we should look at them as the 10 Commandments for prospective cat owners.
Maybe silly, but we thought that way we'd be sure to follow them.
Not silly at all. That was very smart of you. The Kershaw Refuge takes their pet adoption guidelines very seriously as deal breakers, actually. I like your creative thinking. You created a personalized 10 Commandments tailored for the situation of the moment.
That's what you need, Nicole, a personalized 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not jump out of moving vehicles.
Could you give me a break?
I tried to, but there were cars friggin' following us, remember?
Look, Ashley, there was something in that folder about milk.
By the way, what did you do with my car?
They don't want cats to have regular milk anymore. Yeah,
No, they don't.
Why?
it's too bad.
It upsets their stomachs. They're recommending that special milk.
It's complicated.
Oh, that special cat, that's pretty expensive. A couple of dollars a box at that special pet place.
You better tell me right now.
But sure, we can afford it.
Sure, yes, certainly, if the cat wants milk, we can get milk.
Better we don't.
What's the problem now? Why are you... There's something very wrong about my car.
No, not very wrong. We'll go outside and...
Is there something wrong? Something about a car? I know I showed up late. I'm not blocking anybody in the driveway.
Oh,
I mean, I didn't-
no. You did. I mean, you didn't do anything. You see,
It's complicated.
we were going into the city before to see a play, and then because of
Circumstances?
Complicated circumstances. Boring, really. Our plans changed. We had to split up.
Yes, split up.
Yes. Well, we had to separate, and now we're trying to figure out exactly.
Let's not trouble him with the details.
No.
No.
No, we won't.
We'll go out.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes. I saw a few,
What?
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, you mean for Peter?
Yeah, it's just for Peter, cotton, you know, I saw rabbits hopping around up front.
Oh, yes. Friends for Peter to do. Maybe we'll find some dandelions and help him get his little rabbit strength back.
Too bad they had to miss their play. What were they going to go see?
Don't know the name of it. Something about a dysfunctional family. Great big dysfunctional family. All getting together at one of their houses for some reason and being dysfunctional.
Yeah, see, here's the thing I was wondering about.
Maybe I should.
No, you're only inflame.
They're already in place.
Yes, but you're like fresh gasoline.
Please?
Thank you.
They're all about that dysfunctional stuff these days. I mean, dysfunctional family this, dysfunctional family that.
Stop. I could drive them.
Donna, I wouldn't put them in a car together. She might, you know.
The thing is, there
What?
is no
Jump
function
out?
for a family anymore. I mean,
Yes?
there used to be, but not anymore. I mean,
What are they doing out there?
it used to be about survival. Now that people don't have to plow fields anymore,
I
and
can't tell.
I don't think she'd really jump out of a car.
Really? She's already
kids,
done it once. It seems like it's the kind of thing that only gets easier to do the second time around.
now that kids don't have to work at the family candy store or whatnot, what is the function of a family? With all these dysfunctional family movies and play thingamajiggers, I mean, really, what is the function of a family nowadays? Well, there just simply isn't one. The new function is to be annoying. To hang around and be annoying, and I don't see what's so dis about that. Are just performing their new function of hanging around and being annoying.
You know, you might be onto something. You were right, Ashley, when you said my mother was a creative thinker.
I think. Here's another example. See how she set the table? Anyone else would use a matching set of napkins. Your mother used napkins of varying shade to create a rainbow effect. There's nothing more prettier than a rainbow. I salute your creativity, Mrs. Gerson. Joan.
That was me. I did that.
You're very creative too. What an artistic concept you come up with. Are you an interior designer?
On a small scale. Of my own home, yes.
I wouldn't knock the scale, Donna, with the number of rooms you got. It's a full-time professional job.
You do what you can't, don't you?
Yes, Epsilon, the business at hand. So, Joan, Susan, did you need any clarification about anything in the folder?
No, I don't think so. We got a lot of the things that they recommended in there, like the scratching post here.
Very useful.
No yarn balls, because they're not recommending them, but we did get a lot of toys that they recommended. They're in the back bedroom. Oh, back in Susan's bedroom. Say, listen, Susan, why don't you take Ashley back to your bedroom and show them all those toys?
Don't you think that's a little inappropriate? She can go in there and bring them out here.
Must you tell me what to do? I am the older one, as you pointed out.
Oh, fiddle faddle. I mean, I'll just take Ashley into the kitchen with me then. And I will show him the kind of food we got for the kitten and see if he approves. Would you like to come into the kitchen with me, Ashley?
It'll be my pleasure.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to show you how I lined up all the cat heads.
What?
On the cat food cans, when she stacks them up in the shelves, she lines up all the little cat head pictures.
Isn't that a little OCD?
Oh, this from the one that's obsessed about napkin color?
Unbelievable. Do you know why he parked my car clear over to the other side of town?
What?
Where did he park it?
By the tracks.
I thought he said a couple blocks.
He wishes. He ran out of gas is what happened. Shh. And that's not the worst of it. You know why he turned back from the city?
He wanted to make sure you were all right.
Well, get off it, no.
Oh, shh.
The car was making a funny noise, that's why. He turned back because he didn't know what it was.
What was it?
He doesn't know. He wrecked my life and my car. You wrecked my life and my car.
I do not, and I did not.
Well, you people are not going to wreck our kitten plans. You will hold it together for a few more minutes, okay? Take some more Prozac or whatever.
Zoloft.
He approved of our brands of cat food, and he liked the way I lined the cat heads up. Children, did you have a good time out in the open air?
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand.
Are you gonna list all the things you don't understand? Because I don't think we have time for that.
Let me tell you a little secret, Mr. Abramowitz, about the napkin arrangement.
I do like secrets.
I don't like your tone.
I came upon it quite serendipitously.
Really? How so?
How could you run out of gas and not notice?
I just sort of threw them down there and it happened.
A lot of things were happening, Nicole. I was upset.
I think a lot of the most creative things happen just like that.
You're ditching me like that?
I think a lot of the best things in life happen like that.
The funny noise in the car?
They just occur out of the blue almost magically.
Yes, I do believe that's true. Say, ladies, did the refuge include a DVD about cat care in the folder?
Am I having doubts about the training program?
DVD.
I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
You know, mine's a little bit.
The financial analyst thing over in, you and me.
With a movie on it?
A movie about cat care?
I'm aware. I'm all too aware. But what are you talking about?
Cats. Cats are in it.
You haven't been listening to me, have you?
Of course I have.
Or ever.
Or just get away from me.
Gladly.
I think I have one of those DVDs stashed in my vehicle. I will be right back.
I cannot believe that you are trying to seduce that man right out from under me.
I certainly hope that man is not underneath you, Susan.
Don't be ridiculous. I didn't say I wanted him. I mean, I didn't mean that I wanted him, but you already have a man.
What?
You know, Howie, your husband, true, he's a Republican.
Cut it out.
Oh, you're always trying to grab my...
Hello?
Just like when we were little, you always wanted everything I had. You tried to steal my best doll.
Oh, you want to talk about dolls? You'll cut the hair off of my doll. All off. You have no idea.
Oh, and now you're trying to steal him?
Oh, hello! Earth to Susan. That man is gay.
What?
What are you talking gay?
You people have got to get out more and get a clue.
Maybe you're the one that's clueless.
Oh, please. He's never been married. He's that good looking. He's that nice. He's that considerate. He has an eye for table linens. He appreciates rainbows.
Yes, but you're stereotyping. How do you know that
How do
means...
you know that the sun is going to rise in the east tomorrow, Susan?
It could be World War III and we have a nuclear winter, so it doesn't.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for that contribution.
Sorry, Mom.
Oh, so why don't we get the young people's input on this question? You know, they have that, what do you call that scent?
Gaydar?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
So ask them.
So, Matt, Nicole, what do you think? Do you think this man's gay?
I don't know.
I don't know, why don't we ask him?
What?
Ask him as in saying, are you gay?
You're going to ruin everything. These people are trying to adopt a cat from their place. You don't ask about someone's sexual orientation when you're trying to adopt a cat from their place.
I've never read that in any proper etiquette book.
That's because you've never read any.
No, it's you who's never read any, because the first thing it says, disagreeing with someone, does not say jumping out of their car is a proper thing to do.
Yes, but that's irrelevant. It wasn't their car I jumped out of. It was my own car, so there.
Oh, let's see how juvenile we can be.
You're just insensitive.
Oh, no, you're the one that's insensitive.
Shh! You said I was too sensitive just before, and now you're saying, would you make up? You're so cold.
You don't even see it, do you? I've not been into this financial analyst thing for a while now. I didn't think it'd take an Einstein to figure it out. But you haven't been reading the signs, are you?
Ask him.
I wasn't gonna ask him. I was gonna ask if you've been paying any attention to my state of mind.
Might not be the time right now.
Or have you been so caught up in your little board game of life Pickering moves that you haven't seen that I've driven completely off the game board?
We got that right. Straight over to the other side of the tracks, where you left my car to die.
Oh, right. Let's see how nonsensical we could be. How childish. How stupid. Nicole, what the hell are you doing?
I'm a bullfighter. This is my cape. You are charging at me like a big, mad old bull.
Better to be a mad bull than a stupid cow.
Oh, Nicole! No.
Oh, no. So much for commandment number,
4.
Yes, number 4.
commandment number 4.
The
Yes,
one that was
I'm-
starred.
we even live here. Remember, they're not part of our residence. They live clear across town, and they hardly ever visit. We ourselves, Mrs. Gerson and I, we never engage in any form of physical violence whatsoever. It's against our principles. In fact, we're practically Quakers. I'm sure I mentioned that in all the flurry of the, of course, if they did visit, we would lock the little cat, Epsilon up in another room for the duration. Absolutely. Oh no. What am I saying? We would lock them in a room, and in fact, that's what we did earlier. We wanted to talk to them. We lock ourselves in there to talk to them too. I mean, why deprive an innocent animal of free access to food? Not to mention its litter box, just because.
It's all right. It's all right. It's what you want. It's what you feel. Don't worry about the reception or the catering, the napkins. I never really cared about it that much anyway. Okay, maybe just a little, but you're what's important now, Nicole. That's all.
Everything shot to hell.
I know. It's like a nuclear winter. But listen, some things are meant to be, and some things aren't meant to be. But it's people have different wants. That people want different things. They have different perspectives. But it's nobody's fault. Except in maybe the case of Edward Pickering, but other than that, it's no one's fault. You two will simply have to sort everything out. Do you understand?
Oh boy, sounds We're talking about things that people need to understand. Susan, there's something you need to understand. I wasn't trying to steal anybody from anybody. I was just trying to distract him, to keep him happy so you could get your cat.
I seem to have messed that up for you, Aunt Susan. I'm sorry.
And about your doll, I wasn't trying to steal her that time. I was trying to rescue her. You were saying some very sarcastic things, mean things, and about how she couldn't hold a pencil and play school because her fingers weren't articulated the same way her leg and arm joints were. And I didn't think it was fair, so I was just trying to remove her from your sphere of influence for a bit. Do you understand?
You were trying to remove her from my sphere of influence?
That's right. I was trying to build up her self-esteem. I mean, you have to admit that you've always had a habit of being a little sharp. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, how nice. You both get it. The business about the doll. Huh. Jeez, Louise, how petty can you get? And you? A doll can't hold a pencil, and it's been a struggle for 50 years? Oh, but now it's solved. And you'll solve your problems too, whatever they are. And so will you. You think it's the end of the world right now, but it's not. You will bounce back with him, or with another one, or with any of 1,000 other ones. You know why? Because you have a lot to bounce back with. You'll bounce back just like a brand new pink Spalding.
Grandma,
That's right. Just like a brand new pink Spalding. You will bounce back. Maybe not today, but it'll happen tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, but it'll happen. You will bounce back. You have time. While I, on the other hand, not so much bouncing back. All I wanted, and what happens? All your dang fighting, all your stupid fighting over nothing, every little nothing of a nothing. And now I've lost Epsilon. I showed you all. I showed you all. Isn't he precious? So precious. I showed every one of you. All 3 of you, all 4 of you, including you, Susan. Yeah, I'm so glad you agree with me. But I'm not used, I'm used to not getting what I want. I'm used to not getting a kitten.
Mom, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. I said I'm used to not getting a cat. It's not a big deal. It's been going on for my whole life.
Well, just because you can't get this particular cat from this particular shelter, it doesn't mean you can't get another cat from another shelter.
You talk like all animals are interchangeable. Oh my gosh. And this Koestler place, they're probably connected to the World Wide Web. And by the end of the day, we'll be on some blacklist. Some homeland with families that hit. He's not denying it. And no.
You know what? You act like there are no other options. Remember, every spring there's all those wild kittens in back of the shop, right? Early June, I think, down by the dumpster, remember? We'll just go down there next June and pick one up.
I don't think so.
Beg pardon?
You're referring about years past, the dumpster incident? Not recently.
Come again?
When Penelope Kershaw left her request to the shelter, she left it with a provision that every kitten season that animal rescue workers would do sweep-throughs of local cat nesting areas, and all at-risk animals would be brought to the shelter of her shelter.
Oh, curse that Penelope Kershaw. She's got a monopoly on the damn wildlife in the county.
Well, not technically. I mean, she's dead.
As soon I will be. I mean, that particular animal, as you put it, that particular animal was particular to me. I mean, Donna, you may as well just go on down to the subway tracks and pick me up a rat. I mean, really, maybe I should go down there and join the rats. I'll just jump down into the, oh.
Ma!
Maybe not.
I don't understand. We broke one of your deal breaker rules.
Yes, but remember, I'm a lawyer.
Yes, of course. And lawyers have a way of getting people out of just about anything. I mean, when Howie's company had that little problem with the
Wait.
IRS.
What I mean is that I'm used to looking very carefully at documents. Susan, do you have the pet adoption guidelines handy?
Oh, sure.
Would you read me the...
Oh, sure. 4, cats will be adopted out only into harmonious, peaceful environments. The Kershaw Refuge will not release its animals into any home in which humans perpetrate any physical violence whatsoever upon either animals or other humans.
That's not what I meant.
Oh,
I meant the very beginning.
the preamble?
Yes, the preamble. Go on.
Whereas the welfare of the cats under our stewardship is our primary and overriding consideration.
That's it.
I don't get it.
You don't see it? It's all about overriding, where the cat in question, Epsilon, case overrides a small rule like Rule 4 and the fact that she, and never mind, that the welfare of the cat, Epsilon, would best be served living here.
That's exactly right. You should be a lawyer.
Maybe you should. You could move out to Big Sky Country and open a practice defending all the psychos. I meant it in a nice way. I did.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying, and for some reason, and that despite the fact that a family member technically engaged in what you might call domestic violence, I get a good feeling about everyone here, so sue me.
Oh no, we'd never do that. You're a lawyer. You'd win.
But you're saying they can adopt the cat.
I don't think anyone in this house would harm the cat in any way. I think everyone, irrespective of whether they live here or just visiting, will look out for the welfare of the animal. So, that's what's of overriding importance. So, I have no compunction with placing the animal in this house.
Oh,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Maybe we should change that.
well, I'm kind of used to Epsilon.
Well, maybe we could thank our pet adoption counselor by naming the kitten after him.
You pet adoption counselor.
No, Ashley. And it makes sense. The kitten is gray, which is the color of Ash.
I know. A middle name. Epsilon Ashley.
Perfect.
Perfect.
But maybe Ashley minds having an animal named after him.
On the contrary, I think it'd be an honor to have an animal named after you.
But if it bites,
What, a kitten? The most lovable animal ever? It'd be my honor.
Well, then it's settled. Epsilon, Ashley, Gerson, Pickering.
Sounds like a law firm. Maybe you could join and range from the booties.
Oh, so excited, thank you. I mean, Nicole, Matt, why don't you set the table up like it was before? With the tablecloth and all those napkins, it looks so nice. And I'd really like to fix us a nice lunch to celebrate, you know, and welcome our new little kitty. You'll stay, won't you, Ash? I'm sure you must have worked up an appetite with all that other, you know.
I'll stay.
Thank you. Oh.
So everything's all set then?
All systems are go. I'm just gonna finish up some paperwork.
Oh, there was one question.
Now that they're getting the cat, you're gonna ask him about it.
No, not that. Never mind that, it doesn't matter. I mean, the only thing that matters is that he did right by us, and he surely did. No, she was gonna ask me something, and I cut her off during all that hoo-ha. Right. You were gonna ask me what a spalding was, right? Well, a spalding was a little inexpensive pink rubber ball about 3 to 4 inches in diameter.
Oh, yes, I think I know what you mean.
Yes, and back when kids actually used to play games, you know, it surely was fun. Hey, my name is Anna, and my husband's name is Ashley, and we come from Alaska, and we sell, you know, maybe I'll try to dig a spalding up for Apsy. I think he might like it, no?